Well, hello, my lovely friends. It's Tuesday and it is Thicker Thursday. So, if you're just joining my channel for the first time, Thicker Thursday is a way to use up your thickers. And I started with this background, which is basically a white American Crafts cardstock that I cut a palm tree out of on my silhouette. And I'm just gonna get messy, gonna get mixed media, use a little bit of my gelatos and some of my shimmers, and just make it look very watercolory and pretty. And this is going to be a picture of Bab and I when we were in Maui in May, and so I needed to have a very tropical Thicker Thursday, and I think I accomplished that. So I have seen Missy Wooden do a die cut on the silhouette and then just leave it on the mat in order to use her watercolors or gelatos or shimmers to color it up. But I actually didn't find this technique very helpful for me. It made it quite difficult to get it off of the silhouette mat. And I just used some clear gesso on it, so it wasn't too thick, but it was, I don't know, though it kind of made the mat less sticky, and I don't know. That was the first time I tried that technique, so I think I'm going to go back to the old way and just cut it out and pull it off, and then I will play with my colors. So these are also cut from the silhouette, and it's just another tropical flower, and I wanted to have some hibiscus type flowers on the page, and I'm matching the colors to the picture and the water, and I'll show you that picture soon. I've got to let the others dry, the palm tree dry, while I work on the flowers. And I'm going to have some blue flowers and some little corally type pink flowers, and I use my gelatos and my watercolors, my little cheapy Artist Loft watercolors, and a little bit of water. I'm using this really unique tool that is my finger here to smudge that around and just add a little bit of water, and then I go back with my watercolor brush. And of course the dog is barking in the background, if you can hear that, because I'm recording a video. Plain and simple. I'm narrating. Let's see. So I do end up pulling this off, and at first I thought it didn't cut all the way through, so I thought I was going to have to cut it with my little tiny scissors, but it did. But it had that weird feeling on it because of the water and the watercolor. So it was cut all the way through. I didn't need to use my scissors, but at first I thought it was not. And I find that American Crafts works best on my silhouette. I've had the most luck with it. I know that there's some other papers out there that are, already, graphic and different companies, but just a basic American Crafts cardstock seems to work for me. So that's what I usually do, and I usually just color it up whatever color I want after I do that. So there is my tree, my palm tree. I used a little bit of Heidi Swap in bronzer in order to get some of that brown, and I actually kind of sprinkled over it. And I also used some shimmers, Hermit the Frog, to sprinkle over it. So it does have a little bit of texture, and I don't know, I like the way it turned out. I like that tree. I got a whole line of tropical die cuts from an Etsy seller. I can't remember what her name is offhand, but I just thought her designs were adorable, and I wanted to use them on my Maui layout. So this background piece is the Cocoa Vanilla Wild at Heart, and it's very watercolory. And then I just grabbed some scraps from my bin, and I'm going to end up adding a little bit of tissue paper behind the picture as well. Sorry, Bab was distracting me, making a strange noise. I don't know what he's doing in there, but it sounded like when you do a remote car like like you have the little handle and you're making the remote car go across the room, but I don't think he owns a remote car, so I'm not sure what's going on in the other room. Anyway, I did add a little bit of light blue thread, and I will bring in this flare button. Have no idea where the flare is from. And I am just going to stick that all down. Now, I do know that that sun and that sailboat are probably the oldest Dear Lizzie that I have. Maybe her first line ever. So, yeah, I kept thinking, should I get rid of this? Am I ever going to use this? And guess what? It found its way to a layout. This proves you should never throw away anything you're not 100% sure that you're not going to use. Now I've got the hiccups. I don't know what's going on. I'm not having very much like narrating this, so I'll try not to hiccup. Let's see. Oh, I did fussy cut out some little clouds, and I will end up using some gelatos on those just so that they look a little bit fluffy and textured. And I'm rounding the little corners of the clouds there. I'm just using that scrap piece of American Crafts cardstock. Kind of deciding how I want to place them and color them, and yeah. Not hard, just using that water in my mason jar and the little finger technique to smush around my gelato color and make those look like soft little fluffy clouds. And I like the way they turned out. They're really cute. And I'm going to end up popping one of those little puffy clouds up and starting to add some of my embellishments. So I added a little more thread behind this flower, and I'm going to use a few blue flowers and a few pink flowers on each side. I'm sorry I'm a little bit out of frame there, but I adjusted. So sticking those embellies down. The So Happy is a puffy sticker from the Citrus Bliss line, and that I think was last summer or maybe last spring or the spring before. And those are pink paisley puffies. I do end up going through, I can't remember the name of this line. It may be Citrus Bliss as well. But I've got one of the flamingos and one of the pineapples, and because they're not that sticky anymore, I do end up having to glue those down as well. So now, if you can hear in the background, Alan is chasing the dog. I'm telling you, my life is a source of constant entertainment. There's a 30-year-old 6'4", 255-pound man chasing a 13-pound dog through the house currently. So if you can visualize that, you know what I'm dealing with. So here I'm bringing in my thickers, and they are from the Amy Tan line, Better Together, obviously, or maybe not obviously, I don't know. And I thought I would use more thickers on this actually, but I had so much fun watercoloring and playing, and I did end up using this little tiny text from Tim Holtz that says R, and the title will be We Are Better Together. I thought I was going to use that Dear Lizzie thicker set that says we, but it's just too tall, and I really had trouble finding the proper letters for we, and I don't really like the ones I ended up using, but it was just almost impossible to find the right thickers. So, and I wanted to stick with thickers, so I thought I would be able to use these thickers that have numbers, but I don't end up using those, so those will go back. I was trying to put 2017 there, but it just made the page too messy. So there is another line of Dear Lizzie thickers, that I've pulled out, and I end up going with that. Now I'd cut off the little tail that connects the W and the E, and I ended up actually shortening it and bringing it back. And so the title is We Are Better Together. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of Mango Tango from Shimmers, and I believe, what is that other? A Sunset Strip. Yeah, Sunset Strip. And just to add a few splatters, and that will finish it up. I've got, okay, I had a little bloop on my video, and it kind of surprised me, so sorry about that. But that is the layout. I hope you like it, and I hope you follow me and subscribe and thumbs up and all those good things. I should have another Thicker Thursday for you next Thursday, and I hope you get some inspiration to use your thickers. And there's the final layout. I love the way it turned out. It's so super duper cute, and I think Bab's really cute in the picture too, so I will be back tomorrow with a Freckled Fawn Friday. But for now, ta-ta!